I was living in Madrid, Spain, and that was really sort of my home base for all the traveling that I did around Spain. I was actually living in an apartment in a immigrant community, and I was sharing this apartment with 7 other girls from all different countries. There was a Brazilian, German, French girl, a girl from Belgium, a girl from California. That was a little strange. And we were just all there together, and Spanish was our common language in this apartment. And we were kind of just there figuring it out together, figuring out how to get around public transportation. That was a doozy at times. But the great thing about being with so many people who were studying abroad there was everybody was there to have fun, and we had a lot of fun. They have this huge festival called Las Fallas, where they spend weeks and weeks building these really elaborate statues out of foam and wood and different things, and they paint them, and they're these beautiful big statues, and then they light them all on fire. So the whole city's just burning. I think it's probably every Spanish child's dream to grow up to be a firefighter in Valencia. I'm not sure, because buildings always do catch on fire, so they don't quite have it all under control. But everybody's just running around and screaming and throwing firecrackers and just going crazy for a solid week. So I kind of went to check that out and see, you know, what makes people do this? Why is this holiday? But I still don't know. But it kind of made more sense while I was there. Like, oh yes, light things on fire, scream, run around. Also, I was teaching English. I always liked the movie The Sound of Music. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but this was kind of my Sound of Music period in my life. I had all these girls around with me. We were learning English, so that's how I kind of made some cash on the side. But I also learned more about like what Spanish family culture is like. And I traveled a lot, like I told you. I really wanted to focus on traveling around Spain as opposed to all of Europe, because I really wanted to get to know that culture, and I really wanted to get to know that language. So it really made me unafraid to go up and talk to people I didn't know, because, you know, if you're lost, you can either spend a day or 2 wandering around and trying to find something, or you can start going up and talking to strangers. It's kind of another travel picture. I didn't really know how to drive a motorcycle, but I bribed someone and figured out how to ride a motorcycle. So now it's one of my life dreams to buy a motorcycle. And this is kind of another example of just an unexpected adventure. I was at a hostel in Germany, and I met this guy, and he was like the funniest guy I've ever met in my life. And we just randomly hopped on a train and toured a castle together, and we were running around and having fun. But then we almost got fined for train hopping. And in Germany, the fine for train hopping is about $500. So we actually did buy a ticket, but we were separated from our group, and our group leader had all the tickets. So that's another time when acting came in handy. My friend spoke a little bit of German, so the ticket conductor started coming around, and he started just speaking in German, and I just said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and it worked. Camping was a lot of fun because it was a really cheap way of traveling. Also staying in hostels, it only costs like about 20 euros a night, which is about $28 to stay somewhere, and it's just a cheap hotel basically. And but camping was really cool because I am a big fan of the outdoors, and I've been used to camping in the Appalachian Mountains, which are really low and lots of trees, really comfortable. And then all of a sudden I went to the Sierra Nevada, and the mountains were just huge, and there were just little shrubs growing around, so you just felt really exposed. There would be these little white villages kind of in the mountains, and you would see one and just think, oh, it's just on that next peak, and then you would walk, 5 hours later you would get there, and it really gave a new meaning to the word rural for me, just to see like people who live in these little villages just maybe 2 hours from the nearest village, and they just have like a little grocery store or something. So it was a new way of seeing how people lived. That little man there, we just kind of found him on the mountain. I don't really just followed us around. There were a lot of Dominicans in our neighborhood, so naturally we invited them up. We became best friends with them, and after that we kind of like ruled the neighborhood. We were in with the good guys. So I learned a very different form of Spanish from them, and it really made me realize how different the Spanish in Spain was from somewhere like the Dominican Republic that's just its own island and very much its own slang. Then by the time I had been there 5 months, my family wanted to come up and visit. And it was really great to not have seen them for such a long time. Well, that wasn't the great part. The great part was when I actually did see them again. And they came up and they didn't speak Spanish. And really not many people in Spain speak English. So I was really their tour guide, and I took them around. They really had to rely on me a lot. I think that it made them kind of see me as more of an adult, like, I knew the way around, and they had no idea what was going on. So it was really a good bonding experience with me and my family. Some things that I learned were mostly how to get around and use my resources when my resources are only, maybe I speak a little bit of Spanish, and maybe I picked up a free map from a tour guide, tourism office or something, and really that's all you have to work with, and you just have to get out there and forget that you're shy, or forget that you can't speak Spanish very well, and just try, because otherwise you're not going to get any better. And so I think it's given me a lot of confidence, even just taking back, and such a different worldview to think, oh, the world's a lot bigger than I thought it was.